Mary Whitlock had known quiet nights since her husband passed, the kind of silence that settled heavy over her small homestead at the edge of Dry Creek. But tonight, the silence shattered with the slam of her barn door. Torch in hand, Mary pushed the barn door open and froze. A man broad-shouldered, dust-covered, bleeding leaned against her mare's stall. His chest rose unevenly, his coat torn near the ribs. Under the dirt and dried blood, she recognized the sharp jaw and cold eyes she'd only seen on wanted posters tacked to the sheriff's board in town. William Hart, the outlaw who haunted the territory. Before she could scream, he lifted a hand. "Please," he rasped. "Just don't call for your brother." Her heart kicked against her ribs. Sheriff Silas Bowman, her protective, iron-fisted brother, would shoot this man on sight. "Why here?" she whispered. "Horses. Spooked." "Wasn't aiming to die in the desert," William muttered, sliding down to sit on the hay-strewn floor. "Just need a place to stop the bleeding." Mary hesitated. Every instinct screamed danger, but she saw something in his eyes: pain, exhaustion, humanity. Her late husband had believed in helping people, even broken ones. Maybe that belief hadn't died with him. With trembling fingers, she set down the torch. "I'll patch the wound, but you don't move. You hear?" A faint smirk tugged his lips. "Ma'am, I ain't going anywhere." She fetched hot water, torn cloth, and the little tin of salve she'd learned to make during hard winters. Kneeling beside him, she peeled back the coat and swallowed hard. A gunshot grazed angry and raw-crossed his side. Her touch was gentle but firm, and William hissed sharply. "You're good at this," he murmured. "Not good. Just practiced," she replied. "Life teaches survival." Silence settled between them, heavy but strangely calm. When she finished, she met his gaze again, unsure what she'd invited into her barn or her life. But one thing was certain. Tonight, everything had changed. By morning, William was feverish. Mary found him half awake, muttering through clenched teeth as sweat trickled down his temples. She dipped a cloth into cool water, her heart cracking at the sight of such a fearsome man brought low. "You need rest," she said softly. "Can't stay long." His voice was gravel. "Your brother's tracking me. He always was a bloodhound." Her stomach tightened. "Silas is coming out this way today. He checks on me every few days." William pushed himself upright, jaw set, despite the pain. "Then I'll be gone before he gets here. You can't even stand straight." She gently pressed him back down. "If Silas finds you trying to limp across the fields, he'll shoot before you say a word." That shut him up. "Why are they chasing you?" she asked. His eyes darkened. "Because someone had to stop the men Silas works for." Her breath caught. "My brother, working with—" "I ain't saying he's evil," William said quickly, "but the town's controlled by men with money. Real dirty money. They pay the sheriff to look the other way. And I didn't." Heat prickled her skin. Could that be true? Silas, her own kin, was strict, stubborn, often harsh, but corrupt. "I don't believe it," she whispered. William sighed. "Didn't expect you to." Footsteps suddenly crunched outside. Mary's eyes flew wide. "Silas." William tensed, reaching for the revolver near his boot. "No," she hissed, grabbing it first. "If you fire, he'll kill you." She shoved the gun beneath a pile of blankets. "Stay quiet. Don't even breathe loud." The barn door opened. "Mary," Silas called. She stepped into the light, forcing a calm smile. "Just feeding the horses." Silas studied her. "You look pale. Didn't sleep well," she lied. Behind her, William stayed still as death. When Silas finally left, she exhaled. Shakelioa, she'd just crossed a line she couldn't uncross. She was protecting an outlaw, and for reasons she couldn't explain. She wasn't sure she'd ever stop. "When this is over," William murmured, "you'll regret helping me." Mary paused mid-step. She had been bringing him food, water, and fresh cloth for the bandage. "Would I?" she asked, lifting her chin. William's jaw flexed. "Sheriff finds out. You'll lose everything." She set the bowl of stew down beside him. "I already lost everything that mattered the day my husband died." He looked at her, then really looked. Not as a stranger, not as a threat, but as a woman carrying sorrow with quiet strength. "You deserve peace," he said. "And you?" she asked. William's eyes hardened. "I stopped deserving things a long time ago." She wanted to argue, but footsteps again crunched in the dirt outside. Only this time, they weren't Silas's heavy boots. These were hurried, multiple. William reached for his side. "It ain't your brother. It's the men hunting me." Mary's pulse slammed in her ears. "Go," William hissed. "Hide inside. Barricade the door. I won't leave you." Before he could protest, she grabbed her father's old rifle from the barn wall and cocked it. William's eyes snapped to her, stunned. "You ever fired that thing?" he growled. "Plenty," she whispered. The barn door rattled as someone tried to force it open. "William Hart," a man roared. "We know you're in there." Mary took her position beside a stack of hay bales, breath steady, muscles coiled. William pulled himself behind a support beam, wincing. The door burst open. Gunfire exploded through the barn, splintering wood and filling the air with dust. Mary fired back, grazing one man's arm. William, despite the pain, shot the revolver she'd returned to him and dropped another. Minutes felt like hours until the last man fell or fled. Silent, Mary's hands shook as she lowered the rifle. William limped toward her. "You saved my life. You saved mine." Their breaths mingled. The danger, the closeness, the heat of the moment. Tit pulled them together like two magnets destined to collide. William reached up, cupped her cheek with calloused fingers. "Mary." But just before their lips met, her brother's voice boomed from the ridge. "Mary, step away from him." Silas stormed into the barn, gun drawn, fury twisting his face. "Mary, what in God's name have you done?" Mary moved instinctively, positioning herself between her brother and William. "Silas, stop. Please listen." "He's a murderer," Silas shouted. "No," William said, through clenched teeth. "I'm the one who exposed your bosses." Silas's jaw tightened just slightly, but Mary caught it. "Don't you dare drag me into your lies," the sheriff growled. "You know the truth," William pressed. "The land deals the bribes. The innocent men killed, so the railroad barons could take everything." Mary's stomach dropped. "Silas, is this true?" Her brother didn't answer, and that silence was louder than any confession. "Mary," Silas said sternly, "step aside. I'm taking him in." She didn't move. "Mary, move." "No," she whispered. Silas blinked, stunned. "You're choosing him, an outlaw, over your own family." Her voice trembled. "I'm choosing what's right." With a roar of frustration, Silas raised his gun. William reacted first, shoving Mary aside as Silas fired. The bullet grazed William's arm, and Mary screamed. "Stop," she cried, rushing between them again. "Silas, stop, before you do something unforgivable." For a moment, Silas hesitated, breathing hard, eyes wild. Then hooves thundered outside. The townsfolkmen William had aided. Men Silas had wrong surrounded the barn. "Sheriff," one called, "we know everything. It's over." Silas paled. He turned back to Mary, eyes pained. "You really believe him over me?" "I believe the truth," she said softly, "even when it hurts." Silas lowered his gun slowly, knowing the fight was lost not just with William, but with the whole town. He backed away, defeated. But as he exited the barn, he said only one thing: "I hope he's worth it." Mary's breath caught. William stepped closer, brushing her cheek tenderly. "I ain't worth losing your family." She shook her head. "Maybe. You're worth starting a new one." His expression softened, raw and vulnerable, something no wanted poster had ever shown. And in that broken, quiet moment, William Hart allowed himself hope. William healed slowly over the following weeks. With Silas removed as sheriff and facing justice, Dry Creek began rebuilding its people, finding hope in the sunlight again. But Mary's hope lived right in her barn, where William sat whittling wood into shapes he claimed were absolutely not toys, even though she could clearly tell they were. "You planning to stay long?" Mary asked one morning, leaning against the doorframe. William paused, studying her through soft eyes. You want me gone? Her smile was gentle. I didn't say that. He set the carving aside and stood. His movements no longer pained. Mary Whitlock, you saved me. Not just my life. You saved the part of me I thought was already dead. She stepped closer, heart fluttering. William, I ain't a perfect man, he murmured. But I can be a better one, if you'll let me. Mary lifted her hand, fingers brushing his jaw. I want you here, with me. William swallowed hard. Then I make you this promise. My outlaw days end here. If I'm to live, I want it to be honest. And beside you, tears shimmered in her eyes, not of sorrow, but relief. He leaned in, gently capturing her lips with his. The kiss was slow, certain, the kind that felt like laying down roots. When he pulled back, her breath trembled. William Hart. You're full of surprises. He chuckled softly. You ain't seen nothing yet. The town soon accepted him not as an outlaw, but as a man who'd helped bring justice. Mary's farm flourished, no longer shadowed by loneliness. Some nights when the sun dipped low and fireflies sparkled over the fields, they'd sit together on the porch. William would lace his fingers with hers and whisper, I promised you a new beginning. And Mary would smile. Then, let's build it together. Their love wasn't born of perfection, but of trust, sacrifice, and two wounded hearts finding home in each other. And in Dry Creek, that was a story worth telling. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Western stories.